Laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF solicitors. BWF solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Hello, everybody. We just slightly lost our host, but she's back on now, so I'll bring her on.
Okay, thank you very much. I was like, oh, what's happening? Right. Thank you, Eunice. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to today's program on Hanging Out BWF Solicitors. I am your host, Vicky Newton. Today's topic is in relation to those who want to bring their children to the UK, if they can apply for a fee waiver. And with me, as usual, is lawyer Eunice Champong. She's a solicitor and partner at BWF Solicitors, who will be taking us through this topic. I would love to hear from you via our Facebook, YouTube, and all social media handles at BWF Solicitors or Vicky Newton. You could also join in the discussion and also answer, send in your questions via WhatsApp on the number 0744 8619 719. Also send me a message on WhatsApp on 0744 8619 711. Lawyer Eunice, welcome to today's program.
Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. For a minute, I thought we've swapped positions.
I know, sometimes that's the faultiness of technology.
Exactly. How are you doing, and how is, was your week? Even though I know it's always busy, not a dull moment at all at the BWF solicitors' offices.
We're doing well by God's grace. We're doing really well. And so, I mean, this month being Valentine month, I think we're all looking forward to bright and sunny weathers so that we can spend more time with our family members outdoors rather than cooped up indoors as well. So, yes, we're doing well.
Okay, wonderful. And before we delve into today's topic, will you please give us, an update on what's happening so far in the immigration space?
Okay, so as we usually do, in terms of our updates, As we all know, we've come into, should I say, a new year with things going on in terms of immigration, but it's not as much as we had going on at the beginning of last year when we had the sponsorship license scheme coming into force and all of that. But at least with the new scheme that the government is trying out with the Indian young professionals, they've opened up this scheme to allow young professionals from India to come and work here in the UK. So it will be like a ballot where they open up a ballot for certain periods during the year. So this first one is going to start from the 28th of February, which is this coming Tuesday. And then it will end on the 2nd of March. And they would have it opened to young professionals who are between the ages of 18 to 30 years old and who have an undergraduate degree at a level 6, or they have a degree that is above an undergraduate degree. And so they are looking to see that these young professionals come in and sort of boost our economy. So they've made it available to as many young people who want to apply, but then the ballot will only select 2,400 persons who are eligible to apply to the scheme. And then at another time during the year, they will open up the ballot again. So yes, that's something that people that are Indian nationals can look forward to, because I believe that they've earned their space in terms of Mr. Rishi Sunak being our prime minister. So, I mean, they're really, really pushing for ethnic minority right now to join the UK workforce and the economy. Secondly, when it comes to our applications, I know a lot of people keep asking me. I'm on the family route. I have applied as a partner or I have applied as a parent, and I want to be able to switch from the 10-year route to the 5-year route. This is mainly for those who are working, especially because they believe that if they are working and they are not taking public funds, they should in one way or the other be able to switch from that 10-year route to the 5-year route. But there are specific requirements that have to be met in terms of switching from that 10-year route to the 5-year route. So whether you're a parent or whether you're a partner to a British citizen, to someone who is settled, or to somebody who is an EU national, you have to be able to meet those requirements. Those requirements include your immigration status requirement being extant, so you should still have leave, and you should be able to meet either the maintenance requirement as a parent or the financial requirement as a partner. So if you know that you are applying as a partner, the financial requirement is 18,600 per annum. That's your gross. And if you know you're a parent, then you know that you have to meet the maintenance requirement, which means that when you take your monthly pay, you deduct your council tax and your rent. And the money that you are left over with should be equal to the income support rates that they give to parents and children here in the UK as public funds. So that is also in terms of parents meeting the maintenance requirement. And if you have an undergraduate degree, which you have confirmed with ECTIS, then that should meet the English language requirement. If you do not have an undergraduate or master's degree or PhD, then you would have to take the ISOL, which is an English speaking and listening exam at a level A2. So if you are able to meet those requirements and suitability requirements are to say that you haven't committed any offenses for which you have received a non-custodial sentence or a custodial sentence. So custodial sentence is an imprisonment, and a non-custodial sentence is a form of punishment which comes in the form of a fine or some form of course that you have to attend or whatever it is. So
Okay.
yes, if you are able to meet all of the eligibility requirements and suitability requirements, then that will help in terms of you switching from the 10-year route to
Okay.
the 5-year route. So that's for those that are on the family route, whether it's a family application as a partner or as a parent. So that's that in terms of that one. And the last time I was mentioning about biometric cards. So
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have biometric cards that states that it will be expiring in December of 2024. So if you have a biometric card that states that your leave or your card is expiring on the 31st of December 2024, and you know that you've received a letter saying that you've been granted, let's say, 2.5 years, or you've been granted 3 years, but your card is stating otherwise, please don't be afraid, don't panic, don't be anxious, because it is something that the government is trying to make people aware of. They want to digitize and make everybody and make every leave electronic. So, if for instance, I have a leave that is ending in March of 2025 and my card is dating December 2024, then that means that my leave is still valid. It's just the
Okay.
card that will be expiring. So I know that the government have said that because they are digitizing everything, they would still have it on their systems if you are able to provide your basic details such as your name, date of birth, your nationality. They will have it on their system so that when you travel, you are not afraid that you don't have a card that will allow you to enter. And
Okay.
also they are trying this scheme, and hopefully they would get things running by the end of this year so that things can move smoothly through 2024. But there'll be more announcements, and so we'll let people know as
Oh,
and when things will be taken off so that they don't panic when they travel. And I know that people who have employers will be asking them of their biometric card and all of that. But I know that with the clients that we have, we always tell them when it comes to employers, there's the employers check-in service. And so they have to use that service to check the immigration status. And then
okay.
you have landlords who also have estate agents that let out their properties. And if they do take copy of your biometric card and it says it ends at that time, please, they would also have their rent checking service, which will allow them to be able to check if you're allowed to rent. So everything will be in order by the time the government set things rolling by December of 2024. So that's another, I
So
think,
you will not be given another card, but
no,
on their system it will show. So I think I when you spoke about the right to rent
yes,
scheme, meaning they will have to request the code, isn't it? And send
yes.
it to
So
the agent.
currently it's only a number of people that are able to send a code for
Oh,
employers or landlords, and I don't know why it's been limited
why is
to
that?
it's because the government haven't opened up the scheme to everybody. So on their website, I was sharing this the last time, I
Mm,
think 3 weeks ago on my Thursday program. So what
okay.
they've done is that those that have applied to the EU settlement scheme and those that are able to use this app that they call the UK Immigration IDV app,
Okay.
they are the ones that are able to log in and share a code with
Right.
employers, landlords, and other agencies.
Right.
So if you've applied to the EU settlement scheme, you've used an app. Um,
Mm.
there are some students who may be applying for extension and skilled workers who may be applying for extension who are able to use the immigration IDV app. And so those people are the ones that can share codes to other agencies. And it's only a fraction of those who are under the immigration, should I say, scheme. And so even though at the moment it's not opened up to everybody, um, at this current moment, those that are under the EU settlement scheme, those that are under the skilled worker or student schemes can provide agencies with the share code. But
Okay.
like I said, there's a website that allows landlords and employers to check for everyone's immigration status,
Immigration stuff.
regardless of whether they can share a code or they are not able to share a code. And employers have that employability checking service, and landlords have the rent checking service. So that is available to everybody
Okay.
across the spectrum. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you very much. If you've just joined us, this is Hanging Out with BWF Solicitors, your free immigration platform. Lawyer Eunice is here, so you get the opportunity for a free consultation. Just grab this opportunity, get involved in this discussion, ask questions. Today's topic is, it's for those who want to bring their children to the UK. Can you apply for a fee waiver when bringing your child to the UK? And Lawyer Eunice is here with us to take us through, the requirements, also explain to us in relation to the immigration rules who a child is. So, Lawyer Eunice, without wasting much time, who do we say a child is for the purposes of immigration rules?
So usually, when we talk about children, I know that in general in society, as long as the child is in your home, you still consider them to be children,
Yes.
regardless of their age. And for immigration purposes, they say that under the immigration rules, a child is somebody who is under the age of 18. I know
18.
that those under the EU scheme is different because for them the rules are different, and so any child who is under the age of 21
Yeah.
is still a child for EU purposes, but for British immigration rules, it is a child. A child is somebody who is under the age of 18. So as soon as you hit 18, it means you're an adult, and therefore everything I'm going to say in this program will not be
The
applicable to
couple.
you.
Okay.
So if you know that you have a child who is under the age of 18, then this is for you. Yes.
Oh, okay. And Laura Eunice, when we say applying for a fee waiver when bringing your child to the UK, is it for parents who had their children here and took them back to their motherland?
Hmm.
And also parents who had their children, let's say in Ghana, for instance, and later on decided to bring their children back to the UK. In these two scenarios, does it apply for both? Those born and later on sent to their motherland, and
Hmm.
those born bred in their motherland and now wanting to join their parents in the UK.
Parent. Okay, so that's a very good question. I think that for many parents who are here in the UK,
Yeah,
if you're one of those that had your children here and sent your child back, then under our British Nationality Act, your child is not British if none of the parents are British.
British, right?
So it will only be if that the mother or the father were British or settled at the time the child was born in the UK, that this
Right.
child could also be British. But if that is not the case and your child was born here, neither the father was British and you, the mother, were not British, then it would mean that the child will have to wait until they were 10 to be
Okay.
able to register as British. But
Okay.
if you sent the child away before they were 10, it will be very difficult for you to prove that they spent 10 years of their life here.
Right.
This is
Right.
the first 10 years of their life. You have to
Okay.
be able to prove that they spend the first 10 years of their life here before you send them back. But if
Okay.
you're saying that, well, they were like 2 or 3 years old when I sent them back and they're now um, grown enough, I want to bring them, then definitely this topic is for you. If you have
Okay.
a child that you gave birth to in Ghana and you are thinking, I want this child to come and join me here in the UK, this is also for you. So it is applicable to
Right.
children born outside the UK and children born inside the UK as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me remind viewers that if you want to, send in your questions or join in the discussion, you can do so on all our social media handles, especially Facebook and YouTube. You can also call me live in the studio on 0744 8619 The number again is 0744 8619 The same number could be used to send WhatsApp messages if you are the type who doesn't want to, call me live during the program. Of course, you can send me a WhatsApp message and I'll be able to read your message for Lawyer Eunice to answer your questions. Please share this program, and I believe that by doing so, it will be of benefit to someone else who probably is planning to bring their children or child to the UK. Right, back to Lawyer Eunice. Lawyer Eunice, what test has to be satisfied when applying for the fee waiver? What kind of test needs to be satisfied?
So I know that in previous episodes we've dealt with fee waiver before, but it was not at the time applicable to persons who wanted to bring their children. So usually we would have spoken about fee waiver if you wanted to make an application within the UK.
Okay.
And as of late last year, they decided to make it possible for parents to be able to apply for fee waiver when applying to let their children join them here in the UK. So this is in in cases of there was this lady who was a Ghanaian national and her family had come to live in the UK for some time.
Okay.
She had 3 children with her husband, and they had support from third parties, including some friends and then the church. So it became apparent that these people that were supporting them could not support them to the extent that they would be able to pay for
Okay.
the home office fee and the immigration health surcharge.
Right.
And the Home Office said that at the time the test was whether they were going to be destitute or whether they were destitute. So they had people supplying their essential needs, and therefore they had to basically pay up for the immigration applications themselves. And they decided to do a judicial review. It went up to the upper tribunal, and this is the case of Zineku Lijeson, which was decided in the year 2020. So it became very apparent that they couldn't afford it. There was not enough money in their accounts to be able to pay for the
Pay for
application. Yes, and that is when the affordability test came about, because yes, they have people that were helping in providing for their food and their clothing and their daily essential needs. So it seemed like, well, you're okay, so why can't you pay for the fees?
Yeah.
But of course, when you looked into the account, and each person's application would have been about £2,600, it was impossible for them to use that use any amount of money to pay for all of the applications, and there were 5 of them. So the test now became whether you can afford to pay for it or not. So yes, we still have the destitution test. We still have whether it's likely that you are going to be destitute, and then now we have the affordability test. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So, Lawyer Eunice, will the fee waiver be applicable to both application fee and IHS if granted?
So under the Home Office policy guidance, they have said that if they are considering whether somebody is destitute or whether somebody is likely to be destitute or whether the person trying to make the application is somebody who is saying that they can't afford the fee, they have to be able to look to see if they have to waive both the application fee and the immigration health surcharge. It could be that the funds will not be sufficient to pay for both the immigration health surcharge and the application fee. So if they assess your documents and they feel that you have money to pay for maybe just the application but not the immigration health surcharge, then they would say to you, we're going to waive off the immigration health surcharge, but pay
Okay.
for the application fee. So they have it in mind that they're supposed to consider both, but if they do assess your documents and they think that there is enough in there to pay for part of the fees, which includes the immigration fee or the immigration health surcharge, then they would waive one and leave the other. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right. We've got our first question coming in from Mama. She said, "Good afternoon. I want to find out which documents I will need to provide when applying for the fee waiver. Does it matter if I'm living with my partner who does not have immigration status?" Eunice.
Yes. So when it comes to applications for fee waiver, when it comes to especially entry clearance applications, they want to see that you, as the sponsor who is here in the UK, has enough to be able to look after this child when it comes to the maintenance.
Okay.
But when it comes to applying, it might be that you've paid off your expenses. It's something that you are hoping and you're thinking you want to be able to save enough to make this application for this child or for these children. And so you've tried for some time to save some money, but it's still not enough to pay for the application. So let's consider a parent who is on a 2.5 year leave, because there are some parents who may have indefinite leave to remain who want to bring their children, and therefore they have to pay just the application fee.
Yeah.
But somebody who is on 2.5 will have to pay for an application fee and the immigration health surcharge because maybe the child that they are bringing is going to be on the same route, which is the 2.5 year route as their parent. So if we're considering a parent who is on a 2.5 year route, and the application fee for the child is just going to be over 1,600, and then they have to also pay for the IHS, it's going to be quite a lot of money. So depending on how much leave the parent has, they would then tell the parent to pay for the
Okay.
IHS once a decision has been made.
Made.
So usually in entry clearance cases, you are only asked to pay for the application fee.
Okay.
So the application fee is what they would ask you to pay for. And then if the child has to pay an immigration health surcharge, that would be at the point where the parent or the decision has come from the Home Office to the parent to allow the child to come to the UK. So
Okay.
if it is the case that there's no way that this person can afford the application fee, they'll usually waive both the application and the immigration surcharge off. But if it is a case that maybe the parent has more than enough in their account, then they will ask them to pay off the application, and then maybe when it's time to pay for the fee waiver, they might waive that off. But in terms of applying, you always have to make sure that you have 6 months bank statements. So they want all of
Okay.
your bank statements, not just the one in which your salary goes through. They want to see every bank statement, whether it's a saving account, whether it's a child account, whether it's a business account. They want to see all of your bank statements for 6 months. And they also want to see any salary pay slips that you have for any jobs that you have, whether it's one or two or three jobs. They want to see your last 6 months pay slips. And they also want to see your list of expenses. What
Mm,
are you spending money on? What is your total income? And so, if you make a list of your income and expenses, and then
mm-hmm.
you show them evidence of your gas bill, your electricity bill, debts that you're paying off, shopping that you have to do, if you are showing them evidence of all of these things, then at least they are able to look at it holistically. And they usually like it when you, should I say, annotate your bank statements and say what you are spending the money on. So
Oh,
if you are,
okay.
yes, if you are spending £500 on shopping, what shopping was that for? Was it to buy yourself some jewelry, or you
Mm,
were spending that £500 to buy clothing for the children? So they want you to tell them what you were spending the money on.
so, Lawyer Eunice, if you were spending money on jewelry and clothing,
Yes.
what happens then?
So obviously,
More, you're spending more money on jewelry and clothing and less money on food for the children. What happens then?
if they think that you are not spending enough money on essential needs, they'll be suspecting, are you
Exactly.
trying to withdraw money from the account so that you don't have to pay for the application fee?
I
Obviously,
get
they
that.
they will draw suspicions, and it
Mm,
will be something that they would want to know. So if you haven't annotated it, they will come back, they will ask you.
yeah,
So we've seen this debited on the 23rd of March. Can you please explain what this money
explain.
was used for? They will
Mm,
come back to you. They will
mm,
want answers, because I've
yeah.
had people who have asked me before, oh, so
Mm,
what if somebody loaned me some money? It's about £2,000, and for some reason the money is still in the account. I'm like, If it's not your money, then let that person who you say the money is for give evidence that it is your money.
evidence.
And
Okay.
it is,
So if you are in need, you
yeah,
wouldn't spend money on unnecessary things.
no,
That's
you
all that
wouldn't.
they want to establish.
Yes, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. So they need evidence for everything. Anything that you tell them, they want some piece of evidence to back it up.
Evidence.
To,
All right.
yes, to be able to make sure that you are spending the money on things that are necessary and not being um, greedy in terms of trying to get them to pay for
Okay.
the immigration fees on your behalf. Yes.
Sometimes some people are also, they also get support from churches supplying them
Yes.
food items, clothing. So would they have to get a letter from the church indicating every month they supply them, some provisions and clothing?
Yes. So if you're getting support even from the local authority in terms
Okay.
of food vouchers and things like that, they want a letter to say that the local authority is supporting you with food vouchers and
Right.
housing benefit, for instance. If
Okay.
you're getting support from the church, like you said, they
Mm-hmm.
will want a letter from the church detailing
Okay.
how much they give you and what support they give to you. So
Right.
they want a detailed letter. And if you are saying that individuals help you from time to time, they would need evidence from those individuals to state how they support you and how much they support
Yeah.
you and for which period they are supporting you. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, they will need evidence for every expense and every income that you have on your account.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Wow. All right. Jamila is also asking in applying for a fee waiver, will it be taken that I will not be able to meet the maintenance requirement of bringing my child to join me in the UK?
So for Jamila, when it comes to meeting the maintenance requirement, it is completely separate from the fee waiver. So I've
Okay.
said that the fee waiver is to test whether you can afford to pay the application fee or not. And when it comes to the maintenance requirement, they are looking at your income.
Okay.
So it's not about whether the money is inside the account now and are you willing and readily available when it comes to the maintenance. So with the maintenance requirement, they are looking to see that when you earn your money, let's say you work part-time and maybe you also receive a bit of benefits. When you earn that money, that money comes into your account. When we
Okay.
say you are spending that money on, maybe you have two children here in the UK, you pay for your rent, you pay for your electricity, you pay council tax,
Yeah.
you pay for the usual expenses that the rest of us pay for. And they look at the sum of money that you have. They are asking themselves, will this money be enough to take care of another child that is coming from outside of the UK? So, if my money that I receive from work and my money that I receive from the government in terms of public funds, if I total it and I say that I am looking at my expense in terms of just the rent and council tax, if I take that rent out, if I take the council tax out, what
Mm-hmm.
I'm left with, would it be enough to take care of myself and two children that I have with me now and another child that is coming to join me?
Join you.
So the maintenance requirement is to do that test and to see whether it will be sufficient for both the children and the parent. And the income support rate in this country is the basis for the test because income support is given to parents and children who, for one reason or the other, may not have uh, enough to support themselves and may not be working. So they use the income support that the government gives as a basis for which your income should be able to meet and then take care of the child. So, not necessarily that if you can't pay for the application fee, then it means that you would not be able to meet the maintenance requirement. I don't think in cases like that it will be advisable to even consider that. But it's good in a way that when you think about it, you're thinking, then it means that if I'm not able to make enough money, maybe they'll say they can't allow me to
Yes.
this child. And so, in a way, I know most people will be thinking like that, but it's not necessarily to do with how much money you have in the account now. So it might be that you don't have the £1,650 in your account now, and that's why you're applying for the fee waiver. But
Okay.
you are able to save something at the end of each month, which at least they can see that this is somebody who is working as well as receiving benefits, but they cannot afford to pay for the application fee,
Okay.
including all the other expenses that they have to pay for.
Okay. All right. Right. So, Laura Eunice, if certain evidence is requested and I cannot provide them, will the Home Office refuse my application for the fee waiver?
So Usually, I always say that when you think you are hiding something, usually it's because they already know, and so they're just coming to you to get confirmation. It's one of the things that we think they would not know. So, for
Yeah.
instance, there are people who will have older children and they're living in the household with the older children. They will consider not just your bank statements, they are considering everybody within the household.
Okay.
So, if you are living with younger children, older children, a partner, a husband, a wife, all of their income is going to be considered when making this application. So
Mm,
if any of them have to provide their pay slips and bank statements,
mm,
please, you have to provide all of the bank statements and all of the pay slips belonging to each and every person within the household, because what they're going to say is that because everybody in that household basically meets a certain threshold. So let's say that as a mother, you don't earn much, and then your older child works, but then they have a lot of expenses as well,
mm,
and your husband is same. Your other younger children obviously don't work. If they come into contact with their bank statements and they're assessing it, they will be assessing it the same way they will assess your bank statements.
all
So
right.
if they have savings account and they have money stocked up in their savings account, they will ask for those bank statements as well. And with older children, they don't like their business being looked into.
I get
So
it. Mm-hmm.
yes, if you are now telling them that they now have to provide all of their bank statements, they'll be thinking, why are you asking for
Yes.
my bank
Yeah.
statements? Why are you
Yeah.
being nosy with my
Mm,
stuff? And unfortunately, it is what it is, and so they have to provide it. And if it is seen that there is enough money in there, then they are likely to refuse and say that because they have seen that there is enough income coming through, you would have to pay for the
yeah. Mm,
application fee. Yeah,
mm.
and
And I
so
think there are other people who are in the habit of keeping cash in the house
mm, mm,
instead of, depositing the money
in the
into the
account.
account. So how do you account for that?
So obviously, if there's money in the house and it hasn't come through your bank statement, then that's fine. I mean,
Mm,
like I said, it's the evidence that you provide to them that they look at. So if it
right.
is money coming into your hand, it's not from an employer, because obviously the employer will pay the money into your
Through
account.
your, yeah.
Yes. But if it is money that is going into your account, yes, they have every evidence to say that this money is going into your account. What are you using it for?
Mm,
And sometimes I think that um, in exceptional circumstances, I mean, they will consider the fact that when you have somebody who has a disabled child, for instance, or somebody who is not it's not themselves able to do things for themselves, they will consider in exceptional circumstances that, okay, because this person has a disability or they have somebody that is disabled that they are looking after, they might not
mm,
be able to provide every evidence because maybe they don't keep every piece of expense with them.
yeah.
But we believe that this person genuinely cannot afford the fees, and therefore we want it as a way of telling this person, because of this exceptional circumstances, we're going to waive the fee on your behalf, even
We
though you
have. Mm,
haven't provided everything to us. We will um allow you to have the fee waived off. So there are exceptional circumstances where,
okay.
I mean, if you are not able to provide everything, they will look into it holistically and then say they will waive the fee still. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, Eunice, in a nutshell, just summarize what we've discussed so far, and also leave your details for anybody who would like to contact you for further advice and assistance.
Okay. So we've just been talking about making a fee waiver application in terms of a child who would like to join their parent here in the UK. When it comes to children, I said that it is usually seen under the immigration rules to be a person who is under the age of 18. So when we're making these applications, it could be that the child that you had was a child that was born here in the UK before you send them back
Yeah.
home, or it could be that they were born back home and you want to bring them here to the UK. If you are making this fee waiver application, you should also bear in mind that they will be looking at documents which show that you cannot afford the fee. So no longer is it that you are destitute or that you are likely to be destitute in terms of not having a place to live or not being able to meet your essential needs like food and water and shelter, but they want to see whether you can afford to pay for the application. And of course, they're going to be looking at bank statements, your pay slips, any evidence of your expenses, what you're spending your money on, and your income. And once they have done a thorough assessment of all of those documents, they will then say whether you have enough to be able to pay for the fee or not. If they think that you are spending money um, just so that you don't have to pay for the fees, they can refuse the application if you are not able to explain what you are using huge sums of money for. So it might be that you are just sending money in and out of the account just so that it shows that you don't have money. They
Mm,
would assess all of that and they can refuse an application even if you don't have the money and they think that your the money spent was not spent on essential needs. So we have to be careful how we send money and how we use the money in the account.
Eunice, on that, sorry to interrupt. I was it just occurred to me that
Yeah.
the Home Office have access to all bank accounts.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Wow.
They do.
Savings, everything. So
Everything.
even if you don't declare, they do
Yes.
their own due diligence and they are
Yes.
able to pick up
Yes.
any
Yes,
accounts
they
that
do
have
that a lot. They do that a lot. And that's why I
right,
say when you
right.
think you can hide is because they've already seen it and they're just asking for confirmation. So you can't really hide. So if you have an account that you think was open online, it's not a normal bank, please, they have
Yeah. Okay.
every access to any online bank accounts and physical bank accounts
But
that you so please don't
right.
make them smarter. They
All
are
right.
very smart. They
Okay.
are very, very smart.
Mm,
So yes, please be careful how you use the money in and out of the account. They cannot be deceived. They will make their checks and they will make sure that if you are lying to them, you will pay for it. So
exactly.
yes, don't think you can outsmart them. So yes, in terms of making these pay waiver applications, do um, do make sure that all of the evidence is presented to them so that they can make a decision on it as soon as possible. And in terms of meeting the maintenance requirement, I was saying that it's not about the money being in your account there and then. It is to do with whether the income that you receive will be able to take care of yourself, your children here now, and the
Okay.
child who is to come, or the children who you are bringing here to the UK. So,
Mm,
yes, um, if you need support and if you need help making such an application and then doing the human rights application to bring your child as well, we are here to support. And so, yes, we are situated at London Seven Sisters. So we being BW solicitors. We are a very, very vibrant ethnic minority firm that deals with immigration issues and a lot of family law issues as well, and some civil litigation matters. And then in instances where there's housing issues as well, we deal with that. So yes, we are in London. If you would want to come in and see us, you can book an appointment to see us. If you also want to do it remotely, which is to say that you would want a Zoom consultation or appointment, we can do that as well. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340. So 0208 493 7340. We are on the fourth floor of Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, and it's London. Our postcode is N154NP. So N154NP. And we also are available outside of office hours. So my contact number is 075 35 81 3910. So 075 35 81 3910.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lawyer Eunice. If you've just joined us, don't be, disappointed. We have the recording on the YouTube page at BWF Solicitors, so you can go back, replay from the beginning. And as Lawyer Eunice has, given us her office details and contact number, you can call her, book an appointment to go and see her, and she'll be very happy to assist you. Today, we've been talking about how to apply for a fee waiver when bringing your child to the UK. Thank you, Lawyer Eunice. And definitely we'll come your way with another interesting topic. I would also like to take this opportunity, that Lawyer Eunice, you don't mind, for us to wish Nigeria peaceful election. I think they are having their election today, isn't it?
Yes.
Our neighbors. So we wish them all the best, and we pray for a peaceful election.
Definitely.
Yes. So on that note, take good care of yourselves and stay safe. And please, if you haven't sorted your documentation, things are getting tougher and harder. Don't postpone it. It's better you seek legal advice so that you know how to go about regularizing your stay. When it comes to renting a property, they would have to check. When you need medical assistance, NHS, they would have to check. Anything you do, if you want to go to the university, they would have to check your status. So it's becoming difficult and harder. So please contact Lawyer Eunice and her team for them to give you the necessary advice for you to, put in, whatever needs to be done for you to regularize your stay in the country, to make things easier, for you. So, yes, that's it. So till we see you next time, I'm your host, Vicky Newton, and myself and Lawyer Eunice, we say bye-bye and have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.